Hey everyone, and welcome to a special episode of Frozen Oil. And Wayner, how you doing, buddy?
How you doing, Richie?
Doing good, buddy. Doing good. So I got a call from a few friends of mine asking me, "Did you see the Stan Bowman interview? Did you see the
Oh yeah.
Stan Bowman interview?" And when I got the first call, I was like, whatever. When I got the second call, I was like, okay, something's up here. When I got a third text message, I was like, okay, like something's up here. So I asked, and they're like, I think you should watch it because there's a lot of interesting information in that video. So, I mean, today's episode is going to be reviewing that interview because apparently a lot of our questions from basically the August of last year have been answered. So
nice.
We are going to review the Stan Bowman interview right now.
Perfect. Let's do it.
What do you think of that, buddy?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. He's got to answer.
All right.
He's got to answer for some of his actions.
Well, we are going to take this moment here to quickly remind everybody that we are almost at 650 subscribers. So if you like what you're seeing, please consider subscribing to the channel.
Thank you.
And hey, Wayner, I did mention on the last game recap video for game number 70 that we got a massive... Once the Oilers clinch, we have a massive video that we did a lot of work on, and we're going to be launching that when once the Oilers clinch a playoff spot. So it's coming, buddy. Yeah, I know, man. I know we're going to lose all of our street cred once this video comes out, but
whatever.
But for the Oilers, we'll do it. We'll do it.
Done.
All right, so let's get right into this video here, and let's review the Stan Bowman interview. Let's go.
And yes, we're going to call this third time lucky because we'd hoped to have Stan Bowman with us. I think it was American Thanksgiving.
That's right.
And you realized the only way for you to be with your family was to take the red eye home that night.
That's right.
We had hoped again to have you with us 2 weeks ago tonight, which would have been a day after the trade deadline, but food poisoning got you. So 2 questions. How are you feeling tonight? And is there anywhere else you need to be?
I'm feeling much better. Yeah, that was a rough 24, 36 hours, but we got through it, and I'm happy to be here.
Food poisoning, it wasn't just you, it was the entire scouting staff.
Bad timing. Bad timing for it.
We had probably, I don't know, at least 8 or 10 of our people come down with it. I actually thought I escaped it because they all got sick before I did, so we got to about bedtime Friday night, and I'm like, wow, I got lucky, and then middle of the night it hit me, and I was down for the count.
Hold on a second here.
I'm
I'm already pausing this video. Hold on a second. 2 weeks ago, from then, the Oilers were home. Oh my God. So we got food poisoning in Edmonton? I hope it wasn't at Rogers Place.
On news.
We're delighted to have you with us tonight. And we have to start, obviously, with what's number.
They got food poisoning from the prices.
He's like, is this what we're charging?
Yeah. I'm sick to my stomach. Okay, let's go.
Number 1 on the minds of Oiler fans, and that's the
look
health
at
of
Louis.
the
He's looking good, hey?
Yes, obviously some concern in the city with both Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl going out with injuries at the same time. The first time that it's ever
happened. I think you
I
always
was
want
so
them
pissed off, but
back in the lineup, and you want them there every night. But missing a little bit of time at this time of year probably isn't the worst thing. So I think Leon will probably be back before Connor, but I don't think he'll be too much after that.
That one I was a little more worried about because it was his knee, Wayne.
Tuesday night, Utah. Still, though, finished the
Thank
game.
God
He
he's
played over 23 minutes.
Thank God he's
22
German.
minutes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. It was kind of a funny play there, but
built
as you can
different.
see, it wasn't anything severe. It's not a real big injury, but both those players have been fun for me to watch this year. It's having a chance to watch them on TV all those years, but to get to see them up close every day, it's been a real treat. There's nobody like them I've seen, and they lead our team in many ways.
Well, I like what you said there. If there's ever two guys that maybe need a little bit of time off right now, these two guys could be. You don't want it to come in the form of an injury, but their body of work this year has been incredible. And
Look at the
especially
size of
Leon.
DeBrusque's
he is
hands.
having one of those seasons that you talk about every day because he's doing a lot of different things,
Monster.
not just offensively but defensively as well.
Yeah, his two-way game is really probably overlooked a little bit. The way that he back checks, he's been really strong on the puck.
All right, I don't know if I should be forwarding this right now or what. This is some pretty
Leon is a great passer. I mean, he's
common
probably the best
information
backhand
here.
Passer.
Date, Louis.
Yeah, listen, started off a little bit slow at the start of the year, 3 losses, but then you guys went on a long roll where you played similarly to how you did last year, where you were one of the best teams in the league. But then after the Four Nations, and I would even say building up to the Four Nations, they started to it looked to get fatigued.
So, like, Louis DeBrusque went from being a fighter in the NHL on the Edmonton Oilers most of his career, and he's great. No?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, just like right now, like, he's great.
Yeah.
What a transition in a career. That's not easy to do.
No, he just seems so natural.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, Louis.
Stan, I'm guessing that you heard
He'll be well
the
rested.
social media general managers at the deadline screaming for
Did
you
you hear
to do
that?
something with your
What?
goaltending.
Wow,
remains
that's
Stuart
what
Skinner as your
happened.
Sure,
Here we
but,
go. Listen to
we know
this.
that we were motivated to keep playing for a lot
Listen
of
to
reasons, but
this.
also so
Oh,
we can get
this is
Vander back in the
why.
lineup.
Stan, I'm guessing that you heard the social media general managers at the deadline screaming for you to do something with your goaltending.
The social media general managers. Wow. Wow,
Here-
screaming to do something with your goaltending. Well, I'm definitely one of those people.
Here it comes.
I'm definitely one, and you're definitely one of those people.
Wow, I mean, isn't half the city? I mean,
Wow, I can't. Oh, that's why everybody messaged me. Okay, all right. Well, let's hear it. Let's hear it, Stan.
It remains Stuart Skinner as your 1A starter, Calvin Pickard backing up. Make your statement on your goaltending.
Yeah, our goaltending does get a lot of attention. I've kind of noticed that here since I've been in Edmonton, which I think is
not
okay.
long,
I mean,
buddy.
The fans are passionate, and the goaltending position certainly gets a lot of attention because the spotlight's on it when the goal goes in. I think our goaltending probably gets too much criticism. I think they've had their ups and downs. I mean, there's no question they haven't been like lights out all year. But I think they find a way to win games. I think that's the biggest thing about it. Both Stuart and Calvin have done a great job of finding a way to win. And I think there's something to be said for that. Statistics are certainly relevant and important. But being able to, he gets to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final last year. I think that's not easy to do. I think, you're in those pressure situations. I've been fortunate to be in a lot of those with my teams over the years. And it's different, to be able to handle the big moment. So the fact that, and Stuart was great last year, and Pickard came in and won some big games for him too in the playoffs. So I think you need the guys that have that experience and the composure and the mentality to be able to fight through, because you're going to face adversity. You're going to give up goals that you shouldn't give up. So how can you respond? And I think they've both shown the ability to do that.
Quickly, let's go back.
Pause it.
One step ahead of you, buddy. Go ahead. I'll let you take
Okay.
this one, Wayner.
Okay, you're hoping for.
I'm like expanding to full screen here. Go ahead, buddy.
You're hoping for lightning in a bottle again. They bailed us out when the other guy was struggling, but we better hope that they can do it again, because I think they got worse, to be honest with you. But sure, that's how you want to justify not getting a goalie. Sure, a lot of people will say, "Oh, well, who's out there? Who's the upgrade?" Nobody was saying to go get the guys that were the obvious ones available. I wasn't ever calling for that. I was calling for make it happen with maybe a guy that, nobody's thinking of, right? There's a lot of teams with two number ones. Find a way to get one of those guys, right? But at the end of the day, you couldn't get it done. Now, who knows what they've tried behind the scenes? We'll never know. But, I doubt that they just sat on their hands and didn't make any calls, because they must have been able to see that we needed an upgrade. That's our position where we needed the most help with, and they couldn't get it done. So now we're stuck with these two guys, and we're going to hope that they do the same thing that, as he's saying, that they did last year. And it's just a hope and a prayer. So we'll see. If they can do it, great. If they can't, they're going to have to answer for that.
I think you said it perfectly, buddy. Perfectly when you said lightning in a bottle. They caught lightning in a bottle. At the end of the day, the statistics, and I'm not talking like the real deep statistics. I'm just talking about your save percentage and your goals against average. This is the most simple statistic for goaltending there is. And if you're under a 900 save percentage on a regular basis, you're just not.
You can't call yourself a number one.
You're just not at the level of other teams' number ones. Like the bad number ones or the not as good number ones. Nobody in the NHL is bad. They're all unbelievable.
Right,
But
right.
I mean, from the perspective of a fan, I read something that Stuart Skinner was 48th. There's 32 teams in the NHL.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have another 16 goalies that are backups that have better stats than him, if that report is true. But regardless, the last game against the Kraken, without McDavid and Draisaitl, he had a .87 save percentage again, and they almost came back. And 2 of those goals were questionable.
Yeah.
Now, my point is that, we can get through a playoff round here and there, but to go all the way, like we already lost in the Western Conference Finals to Colorado. And then the following year with Skinner, we already lost to Las Vegas, right? And then last year, we made it to Game 7, but we lost. And some of those goals from the perimeter especially were very questionable. Now, was there other factors in it? Yeah. But, I mean, you got to prepare yourself best to win those 2-1 games or those 1-0 games in the playoffs. And that means you need above 900 goaltending. That's what you need.
Yeah. All you got to do is look back at the year and see how many times they were under 900, either goal.
Oh, almost.
Pickard's been playing great as of late, but to just go into the playoff.
But that's what I mean. Like, I would start Pickard myself as the starter. Like, I would have made him the starter.
Yeah.
I feel he won it, man. He's 17-7-1, man, this year.
Yeah.
That's a great record.
And let's see how they finish up. I mean, there's still a few games here. 12 games to go,
right?
In the regular season, but
the biggest thing we've done overall, I think we've improved the defense quite extensively over last season. So, I mean, that's going to help, obviously, with things. But at the end of the day, like, the weak goals just can't go in. I mean, the game-winning goal in Game 7, Wayne, like, it went right under his armpit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's a very savable goal. Now, a goalie's not going to save them all. But if you just look at the record since the Four Nations break, almost every single game Stuart Skinner played, he let in over 4 goals.
Yeah.
He had a sub-900 save percentage.
Yeah.
And Draisaitl and McDavid were playing. Like, it's just, we're tired of it. Stan Bowman just got here. You know what I mean? We've been suffering for a long time, since 1990.
Yeah.
Like, especially us. Like, to lose in 06, then go to Game 7 and lose, and then go through a decade of darkness, and then get Connor McDavid, and now we're in our 10th year and still not a championship. Like, welcome to the party, pal, as Bruce Willis says in Die Hard. Like, it's been a gong show here for a long time, and it's just inexcusable now that goaltending has been a major issue for the Edmonton Oilers during the Connor McDavid era. Major issue.
And
How many
all-
first shot on goals have gone in on the Oilers? I don't know. And I even asked the guy who reached out to us on Twitter X. Since we mentioned it, I'll just throw this here. You can follow us on Twitter X at Frozen Oil Hockey. But I reached out to a stats guy and I asked him, like, can you please check how many times first shot on goals have gone in on the Edmonton Oilers since, I think I asked since 16 or 17 or something like that. Because I recall so many games where the first shot on goal goes in. It's not just Stuart Skinner that's causing this unrest with the fans.
Yeah.
It goes back. It goes back a long time.
We just want average to a little bit above average goaltending, and we'll be good. But problem is that's been an issue from the Oilers for a while, and us social media general managers, as Scott Oak likes to take a shot at. We all know that. So if they didn't see it, or they weren't able to address it, then they're going to have to answer for it if it fails. Now, if it works out, great. I still say we got incredibly lucky, because nothing is screaming that we should have faith in our goaltending going into the playoffs, especially going into, the Western side playoffs and the goaltending that the other teams have. So, inexcusable. We should have upgraded that position a long time ago. We'll see how it works out. Obviously, as Oilers fans, we want them to do good, and we're cheering for them, and we hope that they do catch lightning in a bottle again. But it was an obvious obvious weakness.
I felt the Oilers were going to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
3 years ago, and
Right.
I felt it 2 years ago, and I felt it last year.
Well, you're getting
Right?
closer.
So, but I have to be honest. I don't have the same, and maybe that's when it happens, right? A lot of people say when you least expect it is when it's going to happen, but
Right.
I don't feel it, and the main reason, it's got nothing to do with Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Ekholm, all these great players that we have. It has to simply do with the fact that we have substandard goaltending. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
And Stuart Skinner still has 1 year on his contract after this year. If they don't win the cup this year, do you see them continuing with this, or what do you feel?
Well, maybe as a backup. Look, I mean, let's see how they perform in the playoffs. They have a chance to reset and flip the script, I guess. And we won't care what happened in the regular season if they perform well in the playoffs. But right now, there's nothing that's screaming, okay, we've solved that issue, let's move on. No.
Yeah.
We're going to continue to talk about it because it hasn't been solved yet.
Hey, let's keep going with this.
To your start as GM here, you barely had time to figure out where your office was when those offer sheets from St. Louis for Broberg and
Oh, my
Holloway were
God.
dropped on your
Here we
desk.
There we go.
How do you look back on not matching those offers?
Yeah, well, I think they both had good years in St. Louis, so that's got a lot of attention saying, like, why wouldn't we have matched? But it really came down to a fundamental salary cap challenge for us. Like, we wouldn't have the team that we have now if we would have matched either one of those offers. We would have had to have gotten rid of a pretty core player. Simply the math didn't work. And I think that's what it's not like we didn't like the players or we didn't think they could be good players for us, but when you look at the salary cap, and that was what we were studying, was is there any possible way we could match either or both? And as I recounted back at the time when we decided not to, we wouldn't have been able to field a team if we matched either of those offer sheets. We would have had to have probably moved out a very.
We do long distance moves every day.
With Pods, you don't have to worry about the driving, and that's not all.
Need extra help?
It's okay.
Important
Pause the
player
video
on our
anyways,
team.
Rich, please.
So we just didn't have the flexibility. So
Hold
I
on,
think
hold on.
we've pivoted pretty good. We brought in Podkolzin and Emberson.
All right.
Yeah.
This
we beat
This is worthy of another swap out because again,
I mean, look, we beat this topic to death. They should have never even let it get to that point where you put yourself in that situation where you got squeezed at that point by another team. However, that wasn't Stan Bowman's fault. He wasn't here when they were negotiating or trying to get them under contract prior. So yes, after he came in, they gave him the offer sheets, and maybe they should have matched at least one of them. We've been saying it since last year's playoffs. I mean, we thought it was pretty obvious that Dylan Holloway was the second line player that was going to be playing with Leon Draisaitl. It was already done. It was set. So to see him go for $2+ million, it's pretty sad right now seeing what he's doing. By the way, did you see who the third star of the week was this week?
Was it Holloway?
It was Holloway. Yeah,
he was tearing it up. I know he had a goal and an assist 2 games in a row. Yeah, he got an assist yesterday too. That's what I mean. You never, especially because we drafted him.
Yeah, and
it's not one of these mega high draft picks that we've had, in the last since 2010. We've had some very, very high. We've had 4 first overall picks in 6 years.
Yeah.
We've had a 3rd overall pick in Draisaitl. We had a 4th overall pick in Puljujarvi. I mean, that decade of darkness, it should have harvested a lot more talent than what it really did. But we can't complain because of McDavid and Draisaitl, obviously.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, for me, even if Stan Bowman came, and I'm blaming this 90% on Ken Holland, myself. 90% is on Ken Holland. But I have to say, if you can't see the talent in Holloway, and maybe other teams were scared to do an offer sheet because of kind of the negativity around doing that to another team, but I just don't believe there isn't another team in the NHL that if you matched it, even if you're mad at him, even if McDavid doesn't like him, he doesn't want him on the team, that's what matters, right? McDavid and Draisaitl are what matters the most. That's sad to say, but that's the truth. Whatever kind of McDavid wants at this point in his career, he's kind of like LeBron James in basketball. He can demand a trade. He can do whatever he wants, right? Do you agree with that?
Well, first of all, I don't think he's that type of player.
He's not, but I'm saying if he was, he's talented enough to demand a trade. He's talented enough to demand players to come in. He's talented enough to demand things, period. That's how big he is. All right. So, I just don't believe that even if Connor didn't want him here, Dry didn't want him here, or the organization was upset with them for signing those offer sheets, whatever the case is, there's no way on earth you're going to convince me that even if you matched Holloway at 2.1 or $2.2 million or whatever it is, that you are not going to get more than a 3rd round draft pick if you traded him. That's my problem.
Yeah, it's just the mishandling of an asset.
But no, he's a first
of assets. Yes,
he's a 14th overall pick, bro.
Yeah. Yes.
So you got rid of a 1st rounder for nothing. You got
I said it in a previous video. Our management team has been the weakest part of our team for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yes, it's our goaltending, but worse than that is our management team.
I'm sorry. He looked right into the camera. It's Stan Bowman. And again, it's not, I said it at the beginning of the year. We'll see what happens with Stan Bowman. I wasn't happy with him as a hiring because of all the kind of background stuff coming with him. The team doesn't need that. The team doesn't need that at this point in, where they're at with contending for a cup.
Yeah.
But I'm not blaming Stan Bowman for that 100%. But at the same time, if you are a talented general manager, he's won 3 Stanley Cups at the end of the day, right? So don't you see, I don't care if you weren't with the team. Go watch some highlights. Don't you see that this kid is special? Don't you know that, hey, the the team doesn't want him or whatever the fake story is. Don't you know you can get more than a third-round pick for him? That's my issue.
Guess
is
not.
we keep giving away all these draft picks for nothing. 0 draft picks since Ken Holland. All 5 first-round draft picks under the 5 years of Ken Holland, 0 are still with the organization. We already traded next year's draft pick to get O'Reilly last year, right? And then we traded the year after to get Wallman. So, like, we've depleted the coffers, buddy. It's unnecessarily. So, I mean,
hey, look. Let's
man,
talk
I don't
about
know,
the
man.
Leafs for a second. All we can hope for now is that they learn from this. Stan Bowman learns from this, and they just never let that happen again. And let's hope that they can handle the assets better. And who knows? Maybe
I can't handle another decade of darkness myself.
Well,
I
we're
can't.
not.
I can't.
Let's hope that we don't ever have to go through that again.
But I can't. I'm telling you, I can't. And a majority of the fan base cannot go through something like that.
Yeah.
You already made so many mistakes in management and mishandling of players and mishandling of trades. So we want to just, as a fan base, we want to be able to make the playoffs and contend for a cup. You might not contend every year, but you want to at least have a playoff-bound team year in and year out, right? Maybe you'll have one off year or, whatever. But to go 10 years without making the playoffs again, it simply can't happen anymore, especially with the fact that you already had from 90 to or 92, we missed a lot of playoffs in there too in the mid-90s.
It's a worse stretch. Yeah, that's one of the
like
stretches.
it's just like enough, man, like enough, right? Like, do you want to be like the New York Jets? Is that what you're aspiring to be? Like,
well, let's hope it doesn't get to that.
I don't know. Anyways, let's continue with this.
Please press play.
I really wanted a more detailed answer than that, but I mean that's an easy way out. Like I've said it so many times. Trying to get answers out of these GMs in the past, even going back to Holland, like watching his press conferences. Honestly, I wanted to punch a hole through the wall sometimes because no answers and stories about Detroit and this and that. Like, I don't care about Detroit. I don't give 2 shits about Detroit. I want the Oilers to win the cup. Don't come here and tell me you fucked up on a move and then all of a sudden you're telling me a story about Detroit. I don't care. And 99.9% of the fans don't care. We don't care about those stories and your golf stories and this and that. We don't care. And Chiarelli was even worse. You know what I mean? So, like, you can't ask for patience from us anymore. You can't. We're when it comes to Oilers hockey, fans are like those damn zombies in 28 Days Later, where they're just crazy. That's Oiler fans when it comes to winning a Stanley Cup. They want a cup. And I know Toronto's been waiting longer, and I know Montreal's been waiting, maybe 3 years less than us. But I mean, at the end of the day, those teams don't have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on them for 10 years. And they didn't miss the playoffs for 10 years straight before that.
Yeah. Very true.
That's it. You want to get to know us on a level of what we think of as being fans? That's where we're at. Enough mistakes. Enough. Right?
Yeah. We could write a book, and we should, on the miss. You know what? Let's do an episode on all their transactions over the last 30 years. Talking trades, I'm talking waiver pickups, I'm talking signings. Every transaction for the last 30 years. That episode's coming, folks. We'll see. We'll put something together, but and let's just rank them or rate them. You know what I mean? And we'll see. Let's let the the results speak for themselves, right? But
yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that episode would take a lot of preparation. We'd probably have to split it into like 5 episodes because of how
Sure.
many mistakes there are, right? So
Sure.
and everybody makes mistakes. Don't get me wrong. Everybody makes mistakes
Oh, no one
in management and in personal life, right? Chiarelli made major mistakes. Holland made major mistakes when it comes to the Edmonton Oilers. Everybody makes mistakes. We're not here saying it's got to be perfect 100%. But when you have the best player to lace their skates on your team for 10 years and probably the second or third best player in the NHL, along with that, it gets to a point where you say to yourself, like, come on, these mistakes are glaring. Get a goalie. Stop giving away assets for nothing. Think about your future. Like, Draisaitl's 30, man, right? He's almost 31. In 5-6 years, he's going to be 37. Like, this thing isn't going to last forever. You can't just keep throwing away all your draft picks. It doesn't make any sense. But that's where we're at. As long as we get a cup, we'll probably rewatch this video and be like, wow, what a couple of psychos. They're so mad. But, like, we want to win a cup. We want a cup, and then that's it. We'll be okay, you know? We should have already won 3 or 4 with this guy. That's the problem.
That's what I was gonna say.
You know, and I get mad about these draft picks because that's what a team like Detroit had, is they had a mix of superstar talent with young phenoms mixed together. And that's why they made the playoffs for, 23 years in a row or something like that? It was like, why don't you build for a dynasty? You had a dynasty. Now we have to go for a window of 2 or 3 years instead and maybe get 1 or 2 cups. Hopefully it's 10. But at the end of the day, we should have already, when you have Connor McDavid on an entry-level contract, bro, that should be a Stanley Cup because he was the best player in the NHL from when he was a rookie.
Yeah.
So so you have Connor McDavid for $975,000 on your payroll. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
imagine.
It's crazy. By year 3, you should have already won a cup, and then we should have already won another 2. You know, we should have won 3 cups already. But
maybe one of us social media GMs should have been the actual GM.
You have to make your fans happy. You have to give away things. You have to put deals on certain things. It can't be just this cash grab every single time you go. Can't. I went to the game in Nashville, Wayne.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you buy your tickets on Ticketmaster, you get like an email or whatever from the Nashville Predators. Buddy, they send you a whole game day itinerary. There was a barbecue. There was, what's that guy married to that country singer?
Come on. Fisher.
Yes. Fisher. Fisher was signing autographs, and they provided the pictures for free.
Yeah.
You don't even need to go with an item.
No, hey, if we're gonna get into
plus a barbecue, Wayne. Plus plus it's awesome. Plus when you go inside, a popcorn was $3.
Sure. Now that's a different. I get it.
Popcorn $3, beer $5, $6.
To be fair, we're gonna get into the economics of, the business side of the Oilers. I mean, they're doing okay there, but.
They are, but who's paying for that? Who's paying for that? Us.
The fans. And why are they
exactly the fans? So the fans deserve a championship. When you're charging the most for your tickets, and you're charging the most for your concession, and you're charging the most for your beer, and you want to make a side channel, Oilers Plus, and charge a subscription for that, and your jerseys are $500, and You know what I mean? Your parking is $20. We're not in Chicago or New York. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so
No,
if you're charging luxury, you expect a luxury experience. You know? And
yeah.
anyways,
Look, we're speaking like true fans, and I don't know. I mean, we talk to a lot of the fans. You and I, we we interact. We know we were born and raised in the city, so I mean, we get it. Like, it's we feel like we're speaking for a lot of the fans when we come out here and speak, and that's the whole reason why we did this. So yeah, I mean, there's some legitimate rants to be said there, but problem is, they ever going to listen? No. And are the fans ever going to boycott? No, they won't. So, I mean,
we used to go together. We used to go to Northlands or Skyreach or Rexall or whatever you want to call it.
Whatever.
We used to go. We used to buy tickets for $100. We used to watch the game. We'd buy beers for $10.
Yeah.
We'd have a good time. We'd leave. But now, like, it's a $500 thing. But for the fans that are living here and paying for season tickets and going to the games night in and night out, it's an expensive venture.
Oh.
Like, it's nuts.
Yeah.
We're not Toronto. We don't have that level of, corporate boxes and stuff like that. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And nobody says anything. And, somebody told me that playoff tickets went up again.
Oh, well, yeah, of course they did. You think
Again. So,
yeah.
So anyways,
Yeah,
I think
topics to rant about tonight.
Yeah, I think this interview is pretty much done. I think what is it? I was just skipping ahead here, probably talking about his dad. And again, at the end of the day, these guys are all human beings. They have families and whatnot, But I'm telling you, you are entering a madhouse here with Edmonton fans. We are one crazy madhouse. And I know that's reserved for Madison Avenue in Chicago, but mentally we are a madhouse. And there is a lot of fans. I interact with them all the time. They're hardcore, and they are ready to, like I said, they are ready to erupt. They are waiting and ready to win a cup, Wayner. And I hope that happens. I hope that happens this year.
Crossing our fingers, buddy.
All right. Well, I think that's about it for today's episode.
It's a long one.
I think it went a little longer than 30, 40 minutes like I told you. 20 minutes longer. Big deal.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. That's going to do it for today's episode. Thanks, everyone. If you managed to last this long and watch this entire episode, good job. Good on you. You are a diehard Oiler fan. I'll tell you that right now.
You're going to have to edit something. I mean.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So that's it. Thanks for watching. And most importantly,
go Oilers, go.
Go Oilers, go. See you, Wayner.
Yeah.
Hockey, the channel you need. Oilers on the ice, unstoppable speed. Chasing the cup, we're gonna succeed. With McDavid leading, we're built to exceed.